So yeah, 20 years ago, a bunch of mates, we went down to Patagonia and we climbed a mountain called San Valentin, and we were one of the first guys to get on top. And I took a sponsored camera, my first camera along, and we made a little film about it afterwards and sent it to Banff, and it did really well. So I decided this is what I'd like to do. So we carried on, and you see between these two photographs what I'm going to talk to you about. And I've been deciding on hairstyles, and I've come up with this one. I'm happy with this one. So, yeah, basically what I'm going to talk about is interesting moments that I've had along the way. And a good friend of mine, he said on that San Valentin trip, he said, I smark adventure. And that's the whole time. On all these, like 99% of the time, that's what I shout. But every now and then it's, I really don't want to be here. And once that situation has passed, then it's back to, I smark adventure. So, yeah, just so many privileges. Preparation. It's very important to train physically. I have the philosophy I don't want to peak too early, and you've got to have the right equipment as well. So those are the two things, with my daughter helping me do some training for Magnetic North Pole. Yeah, then there's transport. There are all different types of transport. You just have got to go with the flow the whole time. And one of the more interesting times was when I was flying. We'd just been finishing filming a sunset scene in a chopper near Bloberg with Alex Honnold, and we were in the chopper, and the problem with filming sunsets is the sunset, and there was nothing, and then all the instruments failed, and we were flying around in the dark, and Robert Bray used his cell phone to find the landing strip, which was pretty cool. This one I like to call communication. That's quite important, because we were once sent to the wrong country. They gave us the right address, the right town name, but the wrong country. So communication is important for me. Accommodation, you've just got to go with the flow as well. You get to stay in amazing places and so on. My most memorable one was being locked out of my hotel room, third floor, with no clothes on, because I thought it was the toilet I was going to, and it got quite interesting trying to get back in. I had to try and climb in, I get into the wrong room, and it got messy. So the people I work with, I start working with them and they become very good friends. There's a very blurred line between working relationship and friendships, and you're just making incredible friends. There's Pete, he's just finished the Atlantic rowing, one of the shots there. No, it's just really amazing experience. And the other important part about having a crew, I have 3 rules. The one is you must have fun. The second is you must trust them, and the third rule is you must have fun. Because, without it, then there's just absolutely no point. And I've been privileged enough to work with some really amazing people. Yeah, and then you do bump into incredible people along the way as well, like all different walks of life. And you either met with like people throwing rocks at you, or you become incredibly great friends. But the cameras always seem to stir up a reaction, and many, many memorable moments there as well. And then also making a plan. We once had to film guys doing kayaking in the Krabi's Gorge, and I was phoned a week before we were all set to go there, and they told us the water's too low. So a friend of mine phoned the Department of Water Affairs, and they opened up the dams, and they filled up the Krabi's Gorge again. So that's called making a plan. The other important thing is don't stuff up. It's important, especially when there's a chance of stuffing up. It's just I have this mantra. I don't say stuff. I say another word. But when I'm in a difficult situation, I just repeat that over and over to myself. And if you are shooting from heights, then it's important to tie everything down. Sometimes you get cold. The coldest I've ever been was actually in Cape Town when I went to do a shoot, and I found out that we were going to be spending a lot of time in a deep freeze in an I&J boat, and I was just wearing shorts and flip-flops, so I got really, really incredibly cold there. Yeah. Also underwater, there's a shot here of I really don't want to be here moment. Was when you see me coming out of there like in an incredibly bad mood. I'd just been stuck in this wreck. I thought I'd be clever and take a shortcut and film the guys swimming past, but I got completely lost and I was stuck in this wreck, and I got very grumpy. Interesting moment climbing. We were filming with Todd Skinner on Mount Poi, and we were all hanging on ropes, and someone dislodged this big dinner plate rock, and it started falling, but it turned into like a frisbee, and so we all started moving one way, and then it would move the other way, and then we just all start moving the other way. Anyway, that dog saved my life. We were filming this football match in Lima, Peru, and the losing side started rioting, and they beat up all those policemen, and I decided it was a good idea to get behind that dog, and it got me out of a lot of trouble. It got incredibly scary. You get very wrapped up in the people you're working with, and I've gone through quite a few emotional moments with this guy Jeb. He's done some insane stuff, and I'm glad to see that he's still alive. We did a base jumping series, and I've lost a lot of friends. But anyway, you get to see like really beautiful moments as well, like these, like very special moments. Just I can't really describe. That was so special to see this polar bear just swimming around us and looking at us, and very special moments that you just with nature, and that's one of the things I'm very grateful for. Like the pink dolphins in the Amazon, or these giant manta rays, and just, Pete, this was our honeymoon moment. Pete and I were doing a kayaking expedition down the Carimbas, and they heard that we were filming, and this one resort invited us in, but they thought that we were a couple, so they set up a honeymoon suite for Pete and I. Anyway, always got to end with a good sunset. Yeah.